going on? What's going on? Back to portraits this week. Just gonna do another live. Hey, how's it going? Love your art, bro. Thank you. Question from Boston. Question: ever think about taking your art to a different medium like tattooing? I don't know how I would feel about trying to draw on somebody. Like that's gotta be tricky, because it's not like a flat canvas. I mean, I'm sure I can learn, but yeah, I feel like that's definitely a tough thing to do. Actually, trying to paint on like a non-flat canvas. Have you tried spray painting? No, I haven't. University hasn't let me paint in peace, but it's very nice to see someone else making art shine. Yeah, it's almost summer, so maybe you'll have some more time in a bit. Ever think of creating a YouTube account? Yeah, I'm actually streaming on YouTube right now, so I actually have a YouTube account. It's like a little banner scrolling across the screen. That's my the username to YouTube. That's like it's the same as my Instagram username. Is that ballpoint paint? Yeah, it's ballpoint pen. It's just a big crystal 1.6. It's like the bold version of a ballpoint pen. It's a kind of a tricky angle to get right. So I probably, we'll see how it goes, but maybe should have went with pencil first. We'll see. Hello from New Zealand. Hey, how's it going? Daniel over on YouTube. Hitting my head on this camera. Yeah, I should have good day from West Australia. Nice. Where are you right now? I'm in Providence. Well, Pawtucket. It's like a small city right next to Providence, Rhode Island. Ballpoint pen is definitely like therapy. Yeah, for sure. You get the benefits of ink, but you can also kind of use it like you can draw lightly as well, like kind of like the same way you would with pencil. Hi from Chicago. Hey, how's it going? Self-taught? Yeah, I no formal art education, but I feel like even if you do go to art school, you're still self-taught because you don't, like, people can tell you everything you want to know, but unless you actually do it yourself, that's the only way to learn. So I feel like everybody's self-taught. Me too. Nice. Yo, your arts, bro. I did my GCSE of it. Thank you. What's GCSE? I'm not really sure what that means. Is that like a class? Have you been able to generate sufficient income as an artist? Yes. Somehow I'm still making it. So it's like up and down periods. Like things at the moment seem to be picking up again, so it's kind of nice. But yeah, I'm still able to at least pay my bills, but I try to keep my expenses low. Are you full-time artist now, or was it chemistry? Yeah, right now mainly artist. I haven't did any chemistry yet since graduating. What's up from Detroit? Hey, how's it going? I'm a little hesitant with this drawing. But I'll start to get kind of into the groove of things in a second. Hey, another Michigander. I can't pronounce it. Yeah. At some point, I'll figure out how to incorporate the chemistry, whether if I'm forced to or not. But for now, I'm just doing this as long as I can. You're doing great. Thank you. Keep stepping back and breathing. Yeah. Exactly. Thank you for installing portrait of me earlier. I'm humbled by your talent. Thank you, and thank you for posing, modeling for us. It's the Wednesday portrait session. That's always fun. And good practice. It's a little different from painting from photos, because 3D and like painting from life, you actually gotta try to condense the 3D image down to 2D, but the photos part of that's kind of done for you already. Hey, how's it going? Drawing gamer. Is that a rag in your hands? It's a cotton ball. And basically between like pen strokes, I like kind of dab it to get rid of like the excess. Like with this kind of pen, excess ink builds on like the tip of it, so like I'm constantly just dabbing off that excess ink so that I can get consistent clean lines. Where do you find your references from? This is from just random picture from Pinterest, mostly Pinterest. Or if you want like royalty free images, then you can use something called it's a website called Pexels. Or Unsplash, if you want royalty-free stuff, because this stuff, like I wouldn't like make prints to sell this kind of stuff, because it's like could be a copyrighted photo, so it's mainly for just practice. What do you use it for? The rag thing? Oh yeah. I was explaining earlier. It just to keep the tip of my the pen clean. Pro level smooth. Thank you. Yay for Pinterest. Yeah, I feel like it's a staple in the artist community, but it's that can be a double-edged sword. Like it's convenient, but it's tricky because, well, one, the copyright could be an issue. Two, everybody kind of uses Pinterest, so it might be like a lot of the same references going around. But I like to mainly use them as just kind of practice, and not like the final product. Hey, out of Fayetteville, Georgia, just south of Atlanta, I enjoyed your switch up to birds. I tend to mainly do portraits though as well, enjoying these weekly streams, Jessica. Thank you. Yeah, this was the bird from last week. They were fun. That and then two other like herons. Hi, are you recording this live? Yeah, it's recording. YouTube saves it automatically. I'll try to actually hit the record with my streaming software as well. Can you employ your chemistry if you learn about all the pigments and make your own paints with gum arabic? Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Yeah, the kind of stuff I was doing was, I guess it could be somewhat related. I was working with mostly iron pyrite, which is fool's gold. Can't wait to see it finished. Thank you. I've been a fan of your work for years now. Thank you. What streaming software do you use? This is something called Streamlabs. It's a desktop application. Because Instagram lets you stream from desktop now. Yeah, chemistry for making your own paints. Yeah, pigment information, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's definitely useful to be able to, I guess, understand that stuff. I might have went too dark on this chin, like the bottom side of the jaw, a little too early before I had the placement right. But in the mouth is that's like a tricky angle. I love the way you do shadows. It's so cool how you get uniformity in color and shape while still creating beautiful shapes. Been a fan of your work for a while. Thank you. Yeah, it's I'm just trying to interpret the reference into like you said, just kind of different shapes. Basically shapes that I can make with my square brushes. And then from there you can kind of like carve down and subdivide to get something appealing, hopefully. But it's a journey every single time. And it's always certain points when you feel like you don't know how it's going to turn out or not. You're welcome. How did you master drawing with the pen without being able to erase mistakes? Learning how to kind of draw lightly first to get your rough placement, and then once you're happy with the rough placement, then trying to darken it a little bit. But yeah, I like doing pen, at least for these studies, because it helps me to just be more direct, just jump right into it and try to make something work instead of constantly erasing and trying to get the specific placement on the page right. Stuff like that. Thanks for Pexel's reference. Just downloaded the app. Yeah, no problem. No problem. Yeah, that's why I use, if I do like any kind of workshop or any kind of courses, I'll use references from Pexels because it's royalty free. So they typically just ask for credit, but you don't have to worry about copyright with that stuff. How do you deal with the moment when you mess up on an original piece? I trace my roughs as a contingency plan. Yeah, same with paintings. With large paintings, I like to sketch them first on a smaller piece of paper, and then I'll take in the computer and just blow it up, and then transfer that sketch to the painting surface so that I can so that I don't have to. If I did mess up, I don't have to start over. But I work in like opaque. If I'm working in an opaque medium, like acrylic gouache, that's what I'm going to be using that today, acrylic gouache. But working in a medium like that, you have the ability to correct your mistakes. So, up to a certain extent. If it was something like watercolor, yeah, it gets to a point where like it's beyond saving. So, yeah, it just depends on what medium you're using and how much flexibility you have. You need to add super chat to YouTube so I can send a tip. Thank you. I think I have to become eligible by me not posting for like 2 years on YouTube. I lost eligibility for monetization. So yeah, it will probably within like the month. I should doing these and then a couple videos, and I should be right back monetized. But yeah, I kind of neglected my YouTube channel for a while. So, but I saw the requirements, and it was like after just a couple lives I did, I'm like already halfway there. So, and those lives didn't even really get a whole ton of views. So, do you always do sketches in pen? Do I always do sketches in pen? It depends. Lately, I've been kind of doing it more. For studies, I've kind of do it more lately. But if it's like a original piece where I don't have a direct reference and I'm trying to kind of figure out like the concept, then I might use pencil or digital. But as far as like doing studies like this, where I'm just looking at a reference and studying from it, then lately I've been favoring pen a little bit more. Oh my gosh, you're welcome. You don't know how it's going to turn out. That's talent. I will use a flat brush next time. Yeah, give it a shot. You might end up liking it. Are you going to paint this one too, like the bird, or no colors? Yeah, I'm going to paint it. Right now I'm just getting the drawing down, and then once I have that down, I'm going to paint it. But I'm struggling with like this chin angle. I can't tell. One thing, this is my version of like flipping the canvas. Just like using the mirror to kind of see a different perspective. Yeah, I'm struggling with the chin angle though. I darkened it a little too early. So if people want to know how to do it with mistakes, you kind of just gotta ignore them, and then like fix it with the painting, because the paint's gonna cover up these drawing marks anyway. So the ink doesn't run when you paint over it. Nope, it doesn't run. Love the line art, man. Thank you. That's a smart, great idea. Why do I keep wiping the pen? After a while, the ink builds up on the tip. The ink builds up on the tip after a while, and then it just puts down like a real big blob of ink, and I don't really like it. It kind of messes up the line quality. So if you constantly dab your pen and clean off like the excess ink that builds up, then it keeps your lines nice and consistent. The old flip, my man. Yeah, the flip is necessary. I think I'm getting to a point where I think I have enough for the drawing. I'm pretty satisfied with the placement of everything, so I think I'm gonna just jump into painting now. So it comes to the point where I gotta start thinking about what base color I'm gonna use. If I'm gonna use a typical, I might just go with like a green or a turquoise or something. Like my typical. Your Copic marker videos changed my life? Really? Have they? I appreciate that. Yeah, it's been I made a new one, well, on Instagram at least, like last week. But before that, it's been like a couple. Man, it's been a while since I used those Copics. But they're definitely a fun medium. Lately, I've just been kind of more into painting. But gotta break them out every once in a while. Hi from India and from United Arab Emirates. Is that what UAE stands for? She's giving a warm embrace. A red base is warm. I think I used a red base on this last bird. I think I'm gonna go with a cool base today. Back to comfort zone. Curious, what size is your sketchbook? A4, 9 by 12, hard to tell. This is 8.5 by 11, so letter size. I don't know what that would be in terms of like A4 but yeah, 8.5 by 11. So I guess that's sketch. I don't know. What do you think? I think the neck is a little bit longer in the reference. I can't tell because I'm at like a different angle. Maybe I can kind of bring this down. Hey man, it's great to see you live making videos. It's been too long. Yeah. It's been like, I let my YouTube channel go idle for like 2 years now. But yeah, I'm trying to get back on it. Trying to get back on it. Yeah, the Copic illustrations I did got my confidence levels up and helped me understand values. Yeah, that's exactly what happened for me too. Like I just drew a bunch of them and it helped me to see values better, and then that translated into paintings and stuff like that. Like being able to see values is super underrated when it comes to painting and colors, because that's kind of what gives your picture the illusion of like form. It's like the values. So doing a bunch of black and white studies can definitely help you. Yeah, it's been 20 minutes. That's enough for this drawing. I'm gonna get to the painting now. I need to start working on my sketchbook and lay off the canvas because my sketchbook has about 2 pictures in it, some mistakes, and the rest is blank. Yeah, I have like phases. I go through like phases. Like for a while, I was working on like this tan paper. Like I have this same sketchbook, but like in tan. It's like the tan paper. So I have phases. I have phases where I like want to work on that, and then I have phases when I want to work on this, and phases when I just want to work in ballpoint. Like I jump around all the time. Does your style ever change as you progress? Does my style change as I progress? Yeah, I think it slowly fine tunes. Like I sort of, it's not something that I like. I'll learn how to draw a specific thing better. In terms of like the angular style, that's just kind of how I like to capture things. But does it progress? Yeah, I only notice it when I'm looking in retrospect. Like if I look at my work from a couple months ago and then look at the work now, then I can kind of see changes, and that's like changes and improvements. So that would be, but it's not. I'm not intentionally trying to evolve the style or anything. I'm more so just trying to get better at. I don't know, a bunch of different factors. Before I used to feel like it's a waste of the time to paint in Sketchbook, but recently I realized you can't paint masterpiece every time. You should indulge in Sketchbook from time just to chill. Yeah, and Sketchbook is nice for these like studies because like, I mean, I wouldn't sell like something like this since it's just a random photo. I would rather sell like an original concept. In this Sketchbook, but you still learn a lot from it. So, like the Sketchbook is a perfect place to put this kind of stuff. And then the lessons you learn from here, you can take it into like your original stuff. Hey Jordan, will you be saving this stream? I want to check it out later. Yeah. YouTube saves it automatically, so all the streams should be up there now. I draw in pen too. It helps to make your line choices stronger. Yeah, I agree. Definitely. Helps with confidence, especially like if you use. Now I'm not bold enough to do like fine liners, at least not on stream, because that one's actually that's hard because you can't get like lighter lines like you can with ballpoint pen. Good night, everyone. Loving the sketch drawing. Thank you. Have a good night. What brand was the sketchbook you just showed? They're both Strathmore. So this one is just the Tone Tan mixed media, and then the one I'm working on now is just the regular mixed media 500 series. Yeah, let's paint. So I got my paints here. It's just I'm using just Turner acrylic gouache. And I like to squeeze them out in these tubes. And by it being an airtight container, even though it's acrylic gouache, it keeps the paint wet. So, yeah, let's paint. Let's paint. But I find seeing value in black and white easy. For some reason, value is harder to see in color. Yeah, exactly. And so when I was doing all those black and white color studies, I was doing the value studies looking at color photos. Like I wasn't doing value studies looking at black and white photos. So that kind of helped train me to see values. That helped me train me to see values looking at a color reference. Because it's not like just directly you have to like interpret what you're seeing. So yeah, all of the Copic sketches that I used to post, those were from like, they were color references. So yes, it's kind of training your brain to be able to interpret color in terms of value. Does your style ever change as you progress? So talented, thank you. How do you think about painting or sketching hair? I like to block it off into major shapes, and then from there add some details. And then I use like different brush techniques to get the hair texture. So I use like a dry brush technique to get the illusion of like hair strands, rather than like painting them all individually. So basically just break the hair down into big shapes. When it comes to like the borders of the hair, like the borders of the hair like here, you can like, that's where you can get like the hair texture and make it really look like hair. But the rest of it is just a big blocky shape. On this Pure Ref, I don't know if you guys know about this app called Pure Ref, but they just made like an update, and you can like now draw on like the reference photos. I don't know if you can see that, but you can do like drawings and stuff, and it's kind of cool, the new update. But I only draw with black pen. I started art 2 months ago. I want to expand though. Yeah, nice. Whatever you start with. I started with just ballpoint pen, and then eventually just have fun, experiment. You'll come across something that you like, something that you really like, and you'll get obsessed with it. Just keep going and experimenting. On the reflection of your table, that looks like you're using a webcam to stream. Yeah, so this is a Logitech. All three of these cameras are webcams. So this is a Logitech C922. The main camera is a Logitech Brio, and then like the selfie camera is just some random Amazon camera. I don't remember what it was. It's just like a cheap. It was the first one I got, and then I kind of got nicer ones later. But yeah, these are just webcams. You can with really fine liners. That's interesting. Are you live on Twitch? No, I'm live on YouTube right now. And it's your username is just JMR Art. It's that little banner. It's going across the middle. That's my username on YouTube. But you can stream them both at the same time. But yeah, let me straighten this camera out actually, cause it's like kind of crooked. What kind of gouache do you like to use? For this is acrylic gouache, which is Turner acrylic gouache. But in terms of regular gouache, I use make sure I'm recording. I always forget to hit the record button. For regular gouache, I use. Actually, I'm gonna make this a little greener. Start with a green. What am I talking about? I was about to answer a question, but I forgot what it was. What kind of gouache? Regular gouache, I use my Mary M. Graham, Winsor Newton, and Turner. Love this pose. Yeah, it's a tricky one. We'll see if we can pull it together. I thought about using my old iPhone to stream, but a friend gave me a Logitech webcam that's a few years old. There's actually, I was looking up, and it's an app that you can use your phone to stream with. what was it called? Oh man, I didn't try it though. Let me see if I can find what the app is called. Stream with phone. I'm not seeing it. Oh, yeah, here for the good vibes and good art. Thank you. I'm gonna get that app. I'm gonna try to remember. I'm gonna get this base layer down, and while it's drying, I'll look for that app. Watching you paint makes me want to bring out my sketchbook. Yeah, bring it out. We paint together. It's like a group painting session. Group painting session. You nailed it. Thank you. Love this poem. It's going with the green base layer today. Just something cool. All the colors, most of the colors on their face are like warm, so I want some cool colors. If you look closely in the reference, there's actually like some spots where it's green kind of showing through a little bit, like here. I kind of see some greens here. Like those areas you can kind of use it to let the base layer shine through a little bit more, and then in other layers, in other areas, you can just cover it up if you don't like how the green looks. Do it. You're brave letting the paint sit in puddles like that. I'm always in a rush to lay down the wash layer so it's even. Yeah, with this acrylic wash, and just because it's a base layer and it's so dilute, it's gonna get covered. So I'm not too worried about the evenness of this wash right here. But as I go on later, it will basically all this will get covered. Love your use of color. Always so inspiring. Thank you. Alright. Yeah, so this is what I'm gonna try to find what that app was called. That you can use to stream with your phone. Cause that'll take like a minute to dry. Usually I just will speed it up with my hair dryer. Let's see. It was called, and I haven't tried it out yet myself, but I was like researching because I wanted to, like, when I make Instagram posts, I usually, like, I'm actually recording with my phone at the same time because I like how my phone quality is for like recorded videos. Like the webcam is fine, good enough at least for now, until I can upgrade for like the live stream. But I was gonna see if I could maybe use my phone camera quality to make it like a little bit better. What was the app called? I had it. Let's see. Yeah, I'm really try and look through my history, see if I can find it. But yeah, a Logitech webcam is pretty. How does base color affect the final result? So having like a flat base color, that will everything you put on top of it is gonna have a little bit of that color in it. So that gives you a little bit of color harmony. And basically you can pick whatever you pick. So for me, in this case, I went with a green because like if you looked at the reference, like some areas, some of the skin kind of has like a little bit of a green tint to it. And instead of, if you have the green base layer, it's easy to kind of have it in there just by letting some of the base layer shine through a little bit more. Like for instance, like for this one, I did the green base layer. And can you see how some of that green is kind of shine? If you this is the base layer that I just let shine through. And in that case, you don't have to actually like physically put it in yourself, because sometimes you might not think to put it there. You can get like unexpected color mixes and stuff. So greens and blues are nice for that. Like for this one, I use blue as the base layer. You can kind of see it there. And it looks nice against like the warm skin tones. It gives you like some variation. So greens and blues are nice for skin tones because they complement like the colors you would typically think of for skin tones. And then for like these birds, I did this one. I used like a red base layer. So this one, like the base layer is kind of shining through a little bit, like here, a little bit here. But if you don't like it, you can always just cover it up. But yeah, it can be useful. And the main reason is just to get rid of the white of the paper so that you can better judge values. That green base is fire. The tans are great. Thank you. How would you suggest getting better at capturing likeness when doing portraits? Sorry, I'm just turning this monitor so I can read the chat a little bit better. Capturing likenesses. It's tricky because this is actually dry, so I can start painting. And I didn't get that app. I'll get back to it. Sorry. What was I talking about? Getting likeness. So in the beginning, when you're first kind of learning out, it can be helpful to, I would suggest, learning like some kind of framework that you can use to build on top of. So like one of the most common ones is like the Loomis method or like the Riley method, stuff like that, where you get like the basic portrait measurements and but it's like the generalized measurements, and then from there you can tailor it to your specific model, like specific reference. But in terms of likeness, I hate just saying like practice as the answer, because it's like duh, you know. It's like, no, I never thought of that before, you know. But specifically, yeah, I would say start off with some kind of framework, like probably like either the Loomis method or something like that, just to give you a foot in the door. And then from there you can kind of take parts, like mix and match pieces that you like from different sources to come up kind of with your own thing. Yeah, I'm not sure if that was helpful. I hope you can post more of your art. Really inspired me to paint with gouache. Yeah, I'm getting back into posting. I've been editing a video, so that should be coming out at some point. For the first layer of brownish, are you aiming for the darkest value? Not quite yet. For honestly, at this point, I'm just kind of jumping around, looking at different spots. Like, so first I was kind of looking at this, and it's gonna end up looking darker, but I'm just getting colors down so that I can see what they look like once they dry, and then from there I'll be able to make more accurate adjustments. Because gouache and acrylic gouache, these types of paints, they all shift when they go from wet to dry. So these first stages is just getting colors down, mapping out colors just to see what they actually are going to end up looking like, and then from there, then just kind of going from there. That's gorgeous. Thank you. If I recall, you were going for a PhD in the past. Yeah, I finished grad school. I finished literally. I defended my thesis. This was in 2020, March of 2020. So it was I then defended my thesis on a Friday, and then that next Monday everything shut down for the quarantine and stuff. So yeah, I finished, but I've been doing art and freelance and commissions and stuff ever since. I have like a little side part-time, like remote thing that I do for like a couple hours a week, but art is like the main source right now. I hope you can. Since the background is so dark, I might put that in early, because if I went and painted all the skin right now, and then put in the dark black, like the black background, it's gonna make all the skin that I put down just look way lighter than it does if it's against like a white background. Because like color, the context of the color really affects how it looks. So yeah, before I continue with building up the portrait, I think I'm gonna start putting in like the dark backgrounds. Make sure I'm still recording. How different is gouache from watercolor? I'm currently using watercolor. Gouache is, if you water down gouache, it actually behaves very similar to watercolor. It'll look pretty much the same, except watercolor will flow much better than gouache. But if they're watered down, they're basically indistinguishable. But the difference with gouache, if you build up if you use more paint, then it becomes opaque, and you can actually start to and I'm making this black that I just made is just it's a mixture of green and red. So it's a green called phthalo green, and then the red is crimson. So that's one of my favorite go-tos to make make a black, is like a red and green. It's crimson and phthalo green. The other one I like to use a lot is burnt umber and ultramarine blue. So brown and blue, green and red. Basically, complementary colors that are dark will get you a nice black. I'll have a good black that comes from yellow and purple. That just makes a nice dark brown. But I was talking about something else. I can't remember. Oh, how is gouache different from watercolor? And yeah, so yeah, the difference is gouache can be thought of as opaque watercolor. So if you build it up, then you're able to get a more opaque paint, and that means that you can so you know how with watercolor you have to work from you can't paint light colors over top of dark colors. With gouache, you can actually do that, and it's a little bit more forgiving because opaque paint you can just keep layering to cover mistakes, whereas transparent watercolor, you kind of have to really plan it out well, because you can only layer so much before it just starts getting really muddy. What colors am I using? How long have I been doing art? I've been doing art my whole life. It's like drawing and doodling and stuff, but I've been painting since 2017. Nice, man. Good timing, I guess. Legit, you're able to support yourself mainly with art. Yeah, but my expenses are really, really low. Like I don't have a car at the moment. I use my scooter to get around, and I basically just have to pay my rent and my studio rent, and then bills and stuff. So just trying to keep expenses off, because it's not a ton. It's enough to pay the bills that I have. Like, your style of paint is unique. Thank you. And I don't have kids or family or anything, so it's that helps too. I probably wouldn't be able to do this if that was the case. Do you have any course or book? I really love your style and would love to learn from it. Yeah, I have a course with 21 Draw. The link is in my bio. That's a gouache course. I just did something. I got a post about that. I did like something called it's called Workshop Week for this. I forgot the name of the company. I think it's Happily Ever Crafter. So that's the most recent thing I did. It's coming out. It's gonna come out in first week of June, actually. So, that's next week. Yeah, it's coming. Yeah, I got a post about this. Thanks for reminding me. But yeah, the main thing, adding a car adds to your weekly expense by a lot. Yeah, car insurance, gas, car payment. Yeah, the last 2 years was the first time since I was 17 of not having a car. I had a car since I was 17. So it was weird kind of getting used to not having it, but my brother is in town. So if I ever go like far, I catch a ride with him, and then anything local, I just have I have like a little electric scooter that I get around town with. So I've been chilling. But yeah, we'll see how long until I feel like I want to make more money. If you manage to make it without it. JMR, you still hyped? You're cool. Thank you. Nice. Yeah, so once this background is done, it's gonna make judging the skin colors way easier. Maybe not way easier, but it'll make it way easier to get the values right. Cause now, like just a second ago, all these were looking a lot darker than they do now, since they're against like a dark black background. Sus, hi. I love your art. Thank you. You do oil painting? No, that's the one. I haven't done much oil painting, and I haven't done much like regular acrylic besides like decorating the inside covers of my sketchbook. Like this is regular acrylic. Like I always like the front and back cover I kind of just painted just to decorate it, put like the end date onto the next, and then the same thing with the front. So this is regular acrylic, but other than that, everything is just everything is just gouache, watercolor, acrylic gouache. But yeah, oil is one of the things I've been wanting to try. I just have yet to. Every time I think, for me, whenever I'm trying something new, I just gotta get over that initial friction of just starting a new thing, and then from there I kind of just take off and like get addicted to it. But getting started, that's always the struggle for me. It was the same thing with gouache. Like I got a couple years ago when I had my gouache set. I got the gouache set for Christmas, and I didn't use it until like that summer. So it was like 6 months before I got the courage to like just break it out and give it a try. And now it's like my favorite medium. But if I can just lower the time that it takes from wanting to do something to actually doing it, I probably would do a lot more things. But yeah, I want to do oil. Gouache always be drying different. Yeah, it's a color shift every time. Light colors dry darker, dark colors dry lighter. That's kind of the general rule of thumb. And the more water you have in the mixture, the more of a shift you'll notice. Like the more opaque it is, the less of a shift. But it's always some kind of shift. I'm thinking about selling my car because car insurance is too hungry, right? Yeah, I mean, it depends if you need it. Like, so my apartment is only a mile away from here. And then I'm in my studio, so from here, that's where I do the work at, so I don't have to go far. And then I'm in like a city where it's like stores really close by. So I mean, I've been able to survive without a car for 2 years without. And then my brother's in town, so whenever he goes like far or we go far, I just kind of catch a ride with him. But yeah, I don't know. Like if you're way out in so I used to live like in I was in Nashville, and then I was in like a suburb of Nashville called Clarksville, and I was just straight country. And you definitely need a car out there. You won't be able to survive without a car out there. But here it's like in Providence / Pawtucket, everything's so close, so you can actually. It's not like you don't need it to survive. You should try oils. They're more fun and versatile. Yeah, I started with because since I started painting in grad school, I just needed something that was convenient, didn't take up a lot of space, and I could work fast on, and that would fit in like the corner of my room, and no like crazy solvents and stuff. But now that I have like this open space, I could definitely try out oils. I like your art. Thank you. Your base color now looks like cool lighting, great technique and concept. Thank you. When it comes to portraits, what do you find is the most difficult? What's the most difficult with portraits? I would say, when it comes to drawing like a portrait face on, like head on, I always find myself making the right side of the face too narrow. It's something I gotta train myself at doing. I don't know why. I just always tend to make the right side a little bit too narrow. And it's annoying because I know I'm gonna do it, and every time I still end up doing it anyway. I like I like doing profiles because you only have to draw half the face. Like extreme angles and stuff like this. Gouache is the epitome of versatile. You can cake it on till it cracks. You can go thin like watercolor. I love it. Yeah, me too. And you can use it on a wide variety of papers. Like this is mixed media paper with and you don't need like gesso or anything like that. What else? With watercolor, I like the results best when I use like an expensive, like 100% cotton type of paper. That's kind of what gives me the best results, at least. But gouache, the paper is not too fussy. I just do, as long as it's thick enough to not buckle too much when you add water to it, then gouache will most likely be fine on it. And acrylic gouache is even less fussy in terms of the surface. It's just the challenge with acrylic gouache is making once it dries, that's it. It doesn't reactivate. You can definitely get away with cheaper paper with gouache. Yeah, for sure. That's why I've been using it more. With watercolor, I like to use like these big watercolor sheets. So this is like a sheet of watercolor paper. This is 22 by 30. I'm gonna paint like this big painting back here was done on this paper. I want to do another one like that, another kind of original idea. I'm just trying to think of an idea for it, but I forgot how did I even get on that topic. Oh yeah, because watercolor. Yeah, gouache is less demanding in terms of the the painting surface that you use. Yeah, that green base layer does make it look like it's like cool. Like I'm gonna try to let it shine through in some areas. See if I can keep it, or I can just mix the green in a little later. But it will help me to be able to kind of see. Oil paint is nice to work with. I used it a lot, but you're right about the face thing. I struggle with the sit still. Yeah, I don't know why. Like the left side is always fine, but for some reason, getting the curvature of the right side, I always find myself having to correct it. I don't know. This hair, let's darken the hair a little bit. I gotta stop putting the base layer right here, because this is the closest for me to reach to. I should put it over here so that, once I'm not using it, it's like way out of the way. But by putting it right there now, for the colors that I'm gonna use the most, I gotta like reach further. But it's so thin that I can actually start to, I just scoot it out the way. Where's my paper towel? Just so I don't have to keep reaching so far. Did you ever try that bow hung 100% cotton paper? It's pretty inexpensive. I usually just make my own sketchbooks with it, much cheaper than typically 100% sketchbook. I have not tried it. I haven't tried it. So you recommend it? How's the paint behave on it? It has a pretty nice size, like pretty nice sizing and everything. My favorite, I like are you gonna do another under sketch painting after this? I missed the start of this one. It depends how long this takes. If I finish painting this before midnight, because that's usually how long I've been going. I mean, I'm on the East Coast, so right now it's 9:30. Which, I mean, if I finish early enough, then I can start a sketch for the next one, so that it will be ready for the next stream. It depends how long this painting takes. But I'll upload the saved posts on Instagram. But there is a chance that it might get taken off of Instagram because of the background music playing. Like sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't get removed for having background music. So Instagram's kind of iffy. But my YouTube, it will be saved on my YouTube for sure. So if you wanted to see the beginning, you'll be able to see it over there. And I'll post once I'm done this. I'll post it. I'll post it on Instagram. But if you see it and then it disappears, that's just because it got taken down for copyright. So far, it's been about every other stream. Every other stream gets taken down on Instagram. So I think it's probably one specific song in the Chill Hot playlist that keeps getting flagged. I don't know. I took your 21 draw and sketchy courses, learned so much. I get lots of positive feedback about the paintings I did in those. Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad they were able to help. Yeah, and from doing these lives, it's giving me kind of ideas of questions that people ask. So the next courses in the future, I can try to incorporate like a lot of other stuff that people kind of have questions about. Maybe a different medium. But yeah, I'm glad you found them helpful. Are you gonna do another? Oh, I read that. The Bao paper. Yeah, I'm gonna look into that Bao paper. When you make your own sketchbooks, how do you bind them? Do you do like a sew binding? Do you just do like a spiral bound? How do you like to bind your sketchbooks that you make? If you can do watercolor and gouache so well, oil painting will be a breeze for you. Really? We'll see. I'm sure it has its own challenges. But I feel like it would be nice not to have to worry about the color shift. I feel like that would be nice. But the thing I'm anticipating is since I like having such sharp edges in my artwork, I feel like oil might be kind of tricky to do that since it takes so long to dry. Like the reason I'm able to get such sharp edges because once I work in layers and these types of paints dry so fast that it's easy to work in layers because within like a minute or two it's dry, so then I can just put down the next layer. But oil doesn't it take like a couple days to dry? I mean, I think you can speed it up with different types of additives and mediums, but in general, I think it's a much longer drying time. But yeah, it's something that I'm only gonna be able to learn with hands-on experience. Hello, Jordan. Hey, Denise. How's it going? Hope you're having a good, what's today, Wednesday? Hope you're having a good Wednesday week so far. Do you mind telling us why the name? What name? Like, oh, do you mind telling us the name of the yellow paint? Yeah, the yellow paint is, so this pile is just a mixture of, Naples yellow, I want to say, white, and then some type of red. I think it's permanent. Naples yellow, white, and then permanent red, and then I think I have some magenta in there as well. I like to mix from like soup, basically. I put like a color soup down, and then just shift the soup into the direction that I want it to be. Yeah, sew binding. I fold the paper in half, poke holes in the spine, thread it up. I found some tutorials on YouTube. Nice. Yeah, I saw, it's a guy on YouTube that makes high quality watercolor sketchbooks. And I was watching his tutorials. I haven't made one myself, but I was like kind of researching, trying to see what materials I would need, because yeah, I've been wanting to make a watercolor sketchbook for the longest. I was just gonna originally just spiral bind it, because I like I was just gonna spiral bound it, but the sewing might be kind of nice because then you can draw like paint across pages. For a beginner artist on Instagram, how valuable do you think using the platform can be to market your work? Do you think the platform overly saturated with artists? I don't think there's such thing as overly saturated, because no matter how many artists there are on there, like the audience and people, they're looking like there's something that you'll do that's kind of unique and resonates to different people. You know, like how many people on Instagram paint portraits, you know, what am I trying to say? Like, I don't think, like when I started, there was people were kind of saying it was oversaturated. Like, I think it's like the years keep going by and like the same talking points keep coming up. So it's like, I don't think oversaturation is not like really, like if you post, somebody's gonna connect with it, you know. In terms of valuability, I mean, most of the opportunities I got came from there. So for me personally, it's been pretty valuable, or at least that's where I assume. Most of my art opportunities come from, because I just started off just kind of posting. Like you never know what can happen if you just kind of try it out and keep posting. And I would say it's just try not to have too much self-worth and try not to get too attached to numbers and too attached to because that stuff it really fluctuates. So it fluctuates like so much, and like to me, like I'm saying that, and like I did find myself, like soon as I tried to kind of What am I trying to say? So in the beginning, there's like no guarantee of growth, no guarantee of anything. So it's better to just focus on getting better and just having fun. And you can learn like what will help your account grow and stuff like that. But don't get too invested in it as like the main purpose of doing art. What am I trying to say? Is it valuable? Yeah, I would say it's valuable because I mean, all the opportunities I got, I think came from them. But it wasn't something that I intentionally set out to do, I guess. I don't know if that's helpful. It's interesting what you're saying concerning IG. Yeah, it fluctuates a lot. Even if your account does grow big, like it will fluctuate a lot. Like from 20, like literally my account only started kind of growing again since this January. Like from 2022 to the beginning of 2024, my account it went down by 50,000. Basically 50,000 people like unfollowed. It just plateaued, stopped growing. And it did affect me because I was like dang, people are not like my stuff anymore. It was right around the time with I stopped posting quite as much because of the personal thing I was going through, and then it was the reels and stuff, and I didn't want to hop on the reels bandwagon. Just a lot of stuff. I was just starting this year. I just kind of decided I'm just gonna go back to what I was doing before, not worry too much about it, not post every day. I post like once a week, and then I do like these lives and stuff, but the actual posts, and I don't really do reels. I just post like my old way of doing like I do like the video with a slideshow with the finished photo on the next one. Basically all the advice that everybody says to do, I kind of don't do any of that. Like no trending audios, none of that. And that's kind of what made my kind of doing the opposite of what everybody is saying. Helped me at least these days kind of have some kind of traction again. But yeah, I don't know. I can't really recommend that for anybody else because it's just everybody's gonna have a different experience, and what kind of worked for me probably might not work for anybody else, I guess. IG changed so much, everyone's reach has gone down. It's a bit sad they have hindered small accounts. Yeah, it's changed. When I first started, everybody was saying like, because when I first started in towards the end of 2017, everybody was saying like how it used to be chronological. So like as long as I've been on here, it wasn't chronological. So that was like the big change back then, and like the new change is like the reels and all that kind of stuff, trending audios. And they were saying, even back then they were saying, post every day. It wasn't really a point where I ever posted every day. When my account was growing the most, I was posting once a week. Well, that's not true. When I first started off, I did the daily posts with the Inktober. So that was for like a month. And that kind of, in the beginning, I think posting a lot helps. But once you get to a certain point, posting a lot actually can have a backfire. Like at least for me, I saw it had the opposite effect if I posted a lot. Once you get to a certain size, I don't know, it's weird. What size brush is that? Is it for acrylic? This is a 1-inch wash brush. It's a 1-inch flat brush, and it's mixed media. It's mainly for, I use it mainly for regular gouache, but I've been using it for acrylic gouache as well. I just make sure to wash it really thoroughly when I'm finished so that I don't mess the brush up. But yeah, what brand of oil paste do you use, if I don't mind asking? I haven't tried. Oh, you're asking. Yeah, I would like to know what kind of oil paste you use as well, because I'm trying to figure out like a nice a starting place to pick up oil painting from. Is the type of gouache you're using, Jordan, that makes the underpainting look like a bit like watercolor, or the amount of times you dip the brush? It looks like watercolor because of the water content I put in it. So the early washes, it's just, I have the spray bottle that I just spray it on the palette to dilute the paint. And then as I build up the layers, I build up the opacity. Wow, it's been 100 years since I've seen your work. Really? Yeah. Nice. Well, welcome. Welcome. I'm gonna switch to a smaller brush and start darkening some of these. A lot of these, at a certain point, you have to start putting in like the darkest values to be able to judge like where to go next. Please don't ever give up gouache. I just love the medium and your gouache for it. Yeah, I don't think I will. I like it. Yeah, I like gouache too much. Yes, early follow days once you're in med school back in the beginning. I was in grad school. Yeah, I was in grad school for chemistry. Wow, you were there back then? That's crazy. Yeah, that's been a while. I just looked at it like this month, 2020 was when I graduated grad school. So 4 years ago. It's crazy. The time is just flying by. I'm getting old, man. But man, it seems like kind of yesterday I was in the chemistry lab mixing, doing experiments and stuff. But I do not miss it. Congrats to you. Yes, I stopped because I recognize the facial features. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, thanks for stopping it. Yeah, still trucking along. Trying. Okay, thank you. Yeah, no problem. Yes, under her chin is quite a bit darker. I'm trying this mixture of like purple and yellow to see what that looks like. Kind of dark that would give me. I'm still recording. I'm gonna set the autofocus. Turn the autofocus off. There's not a ton of artists that use gouache. A lot watercolor or an acrylic. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, gouache. Yeah, it's definitely a favorite. I'm gonna get back to regular gouache soon. I want to do something in that tan sketchbook again. I've been on the phase of working on this in this sketchbook. It kind of takes me long to finish my regular sketchbook. Like I have sketchbooks for life drawing. Those get finished quickly because it's like every week it's a certain amount of sessions that I go to. But in terms of like these sketchbooks here, they take long because like I'll work on one for a while, then I'll switch and not touch it for like a couple months while I'm like working in a different sketchbook. I kind of jump all over the place depending on like my mood. I need some more burnt umber on my palette. Running out. The hair is so dark, it almost kind of blends in with the background and the reference. But like these brown highlights kind of distinguish it. I might make the background like a really dark blue and keep the hair like a brown so that it's at least some kind of separation. I don't know. So it doesn't look like it's just one piece blended together. Great to see you back, Jordan. Amazing artwork. Thank you. Getting back in the swing of things. Gonna try to. I think for the hair it's gonna be important, like the borders where the hair kind of meets the skin. It's like these different green colors and stuff, which would be nice to get in there so that the hair isn't just like an abrupt transition. I recently tried the Arts Neocolor 2 pastels. They're like watercolor crayon that activate with water. They're really fun and easy to use. I always struggle. Nice. Yeah, I have some in the what are they called? What are those? What are the expensive color pencils called? They come in like the green case. Not Prismacolor. Not Derwent's. Why am I blanking on these color pencils? Oh man, I'm forgetting the name. But I have some of those. That are the watercolor pencils. And yeah, when you put polychromos, that's it. The polychromos. Yeah, but the colored, because that's the one thing I don't like about colored pencils. It just takes so long. It takes so long to build up the layers. But if you have the water ones, you can just hit it with some water, help it spread out a little bit, and then keep building. Thank you for going live. I just did a painting while watching you. I'll post it on my Instagram page tonight. Nice. Yeah, thanks for painting along. Now you're fast. You're faster than me. You're faster than me. How are you streaming the music? Are you using some software, 3 camera? So the cameras, I'm using just webcams, 3 different webcams. And then music, that's just Spotify. But I'm using Streamlabs, and I just I'm capturing the Spotify window, but I crop everything out except like the now playing, the now playing aspect of it. But yeah, that's just a Spotify window, and I'm using this Lo-Fi Girl playlist. It's supposed to be copyright free. We'll see. Instagram usually sometimes takes it down, but YouTube is usually fine about it. I only use one color. Oh, okay. I quit. Nice monochrome study. Nice. How much would you charge for one of the smaller paintings on the wall behind you? Like one of the actual paintings, or like a commission of that size? Like a customized artwork, or like one of those actual paintings? I've been avoiding the facial features this whole time, so I'm actually start doing those a little bit. So, did you guys have a good Memorial Day? Do anything fun? I just kind of hung out around the city a little bit, painted outside, went to this ice cream place. One of the actual paintings, I remember hearing you say that you'll sell whatever that's not in your sketchbook. Oh yeah, I just said, yeah. How much would? Yeah, I don't know. How much would I charge for those? Did you have one that you had in mind? A particular one? Well done. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hello everyone. As always, I'm late to the party. I'm so glad I can rewatch it later from the beginning. Hey, how's it going? How's it going? I tried the like the schedule feature. I don't know if I didn't see what that looked like though from my page. I just kind of, I don't know if it showed up like ahead of time or not. But I think I'll be back on Friday. So I'm just asking out of curiosity so I can get my money saved up. I really like the painting of the black man with the beanie and glasses on. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I mean, I can get rid of it. Probably sell for. I mean, usually. Yeah, I could probably do like $250 to get rid of it. It's been just kind of sitting there. But for a commission of that size, I usually charge like $650. That's a 9x12. Have you painted yourself? Yeah, I painted. I paint myself like once a year, either my birthday or New Year's. For some reason, they tend to do. My most popular post was a self-portrait. I don't know why. But it's cool. It's fun to. I do like usually once a year. It's kind of like a snapshot of how I looked that year. Thank you for telling us about Pexels. I'll be using that from now on. I usually use Instagram or Pinterest. Yeah, it's it's nice for not having to worry about copyright. The other one is called Unsplash or Upsplash. I can't remember. It's either Upsplash or Unsplash. That's another one. It's similar to Pexels. I use Pexels more though. I use Pexels a little bit more. Curious how you might paint something that is out of focus. For example, if there is depth of field and reference and you want it to appear out of focus. Out of focus, I would blend it. I would blend the edges that are out of focus. I would do like a wet into wet. I'll do like a wet into wet wash, so that it doesn't get the sharp edges. It will make it have like blurry edges. If it was regular gouache, I would get all the colors down first. Put all the colors where I want, and then from there I would just go over it with a clean brush full of water, and that will soften all the edges. With acrylic gouache, that would be kind of tricky because I would have to get the soft transitions while the paint is still wet. So if I was gonna paint something out of focus, I would definitely do it with regular gouache. More than I would do with acrylic gouache. $50 is fair, not bad. I'll thank you for the price. I pray that I'll be able to collect one of your pieces. Yeah, but just those early studies, just to get rid of them. A normal price will be a bit more, but you know, I might make a thing so it can be like a stream discount or something like that. Just be like, when you're asking me, be like, hey, that's what you said on stream, so I'll honor it. But usually a painting of that size, I'll definitely charge a bit more. But you know, this is the early stream, you know, early stream discount. Have you ever painted? How old when you started drawing? I've been drawing since I was a kid. I've been painting since grad school, 2017. Unsplash, downloading it now. Your portrait work on Instagram is what got me hooked on your work, so it's great to see you process in real time. Thank you. Yeah, Instagram is such a quick 30-second. I used to do a minute time lapse, but ever since the Reels era, I kind of dropped it down to 30 seconds. But still, it's like 30 seconds for like a 2 to 3 hour long painting. You really can't really see much. But on the other hand, it is kind of, I like watching the time lapses because I can kind of see the decisions I'm making, like in the overall picture. It actually helps me get better just kind of watching the time lapses, because I'm like, oh, next time I might do that differently, or so on and so. It's kind of like how athletes like watch game film, watching like time lapses and stuff. Can be kind of helpful in a similar way. Your art exposure was born on IG. No, my art exposure, I first got into art from like cartoons and comic books and like Pokemon when I was a kid. Spider-Man was big. Spider-Man was really big when I was a kid. I just saw your blue heron piece, to die for, and I love the self-portrait. Easy guys. Thank you. Yeah, the heron. Yeah, those herons are really fun. Yeah, this was from the last stream. I like boots a lot too. These are my shoes. But yeah, the last week was non-portrait week for streaming, so this was a Goliath heron, and then a blue heron, and then this American kestrel. Back to portraits, but Unsplash, downloading it now. Yeah, it's a nice app. Do you have prints available of the red bridge you did? It brings back memories of growing up in East Providence, in the east side of Providence. At the moment, no, but I do. I want to turn all those plein air sketchbooks, turn them into like a little, like maybe like a zine or something, just to like kind of reproduce the sketchbook. A couple months ago, my brother was helping me kind of test out printing some of those books. I don't like my current printer quality right now, though. I'll try to, at least right now, until I can afford a better printer, I'll probably try to see if I can get them done somewhere. Get them printed professionally somewhere. Cause I don't want to put out like something that's not great quality. The red bridge painting. Man, your drawing is so smooth. Thank you. You are amazing. Thank you. Do you ever need to step back or look at your painting side? Yeah. When I was drawing, I had to do the good old fashioned mirror trick where you use the mirror to like flip your painting. When I'm painting it, yeah, I do step back. But once I kind of have the drawing down in place, that's kind of my proportion. So I don't do it quite as much during this phase. of the process, but still, I do step back a lot, especially if I'm doing like a larger painting. I'll definitely have to step back a little bit more, and I probably should be stepping back more now that I'm painting as well, but I just haven't been that much. But it's always good to get a fresh perspective on your work. Another thing is I usually get the painting to like, I'd say like 80 to 90% finish, and then I'll just come back the next day with fresh eyes to make any final touches. That's always something I like to do, because that kind of helps me once again be able to see it with fresh eyes. The Kestrel is amazing. Thank you. Yeah, that was fun. The bird paintings were actually kind of bird guy. Bird guy would be. Birds are actually fun. Like when you paint like the same thing over and over, like portraits and stuff, just switching up the subject matter is always a nice way to. If you're having art block, just try painting something that you haven't painted before, and especially if you focus on portraits mostly, then doing something like animals might actually be a little easier, because it's portraits are kind of like portraits and people and stuff is kind of one of the more challenging subject matters, because it's easy to spot mistakes looking at people than an unfamiliar animal. The HP Eco tanks are really affordable. I print on Epson watercolor paper. The results are G-Clay quality. Is that how you say that word? G-Clay quality. I've sold prints on Etsy. You should consider it. Interesting. Yeah, because I have an Epson, but I have an Epson WF. Like the quality, at least, maybe it's the type of paper I'm using, but the colors, I can't get the colors to look quite right. So you said the Eco Tank is pretty nice? Yeah, because that would be cool if I could just do my own print. I do have a in-print store, but I don't really have anything up on there. I have like a really old Morpheus thing, but other than that, yeah, because I gotta be more aggressive about getting income streams rather than just commissions and online classes. Did you say this is a gouache painting? Yeah, this is acrylic gouache. So it's similar to gouache, but it just has an acrylic binder instead of something like gum Arabic. Stunning. Thank you. Love the birds. Thank you. Do you have a platform where you sell your works? At the moment, I mean, I have some up on my website, but yeah, maybe. Mainly, I was just kind of doing commissions and online classes. Hadn't focused on like selling originals too aggressively yet, but it's definitely an income stream that I should probably, because they're just sitting there, they're not. Like sketchbook stuff I want to sell, but all the loose paintings, like, I've kind of gotten my use out of them. Like, I don't really look at them that much anymore, so. They say if you want to be an artist, you gotta sell art. Oh yes, you need to use the Epson watercolor paper. You can buy it online. Okay. Yeah, because I've used the presentation. I use the presentation matte, and it doesn't look that good. It was expensive too, but it just doesn't look that nice. Oh, thank you. What a great opportunity to watch your work. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for stopping in. So I do like how some of that green is looking, but like some of those initial pen marks are still showing through. I don't know if you can see it with the base sketch. So I'm gonna build up the paint so I can cover those up with some more opaque paint. But I buy the 12 by 19 and cut it down to 8.5 by 11. Oh, that's smart. That's smart. Yeah, I gotta see what the so maybe it's just the paper that's making it. So maybe my printer is good enough, and the paper might make the difference to get some decent quality prints. What's your website URL? It's jordanmrhodes.com. Let me I have to. It's Jordan. I can't. So I have to sign in to be able to chat on YouTube. Let me see if I can pull up the chat on maybe my desktop. I don't know. Make sure it doesn't make an echo. I can't. So I have to sign. Got it. Okay. Chat. I bought a 12 by 19, cut it down. I got my printer at Costco, so it was pretty reasonable. Nice. Yeah, Costco. I miss Costco. I think that's probably a cop. Yeah, that's where I used to shop down in Nashville. I think there's a Costco near Providence. I don't know. I gotta look up on the map. But yeah, I think Costco's gotta have like the best generic store brand, like the Kirkland brand stuff. It was so good. Like their vanilla ice cream, so good. At my portrait group every week, I take a photo of our model and work off my iPad because the light and expression stay the same. They think I'm crazy. Do you think painting from life is better or no? Yeah, it's funny you say that. My portrait group, I went to one earlier today. Working from life, you're able to see more colors, you know. The camera kind of compresses everything. Like your eyes have a much dynamic range. Your eyes have like a greater dynamic range than any camera has. But if you like because a lot of people in my portrait class do the same thing. Like they'll take a picture so that they can zoom in on the features and then also like look at the model from life too. I usually just kind of paint from. I usually don't in the portrait classes. I just kind of try to paint the whole thing just from observation without the photo. But I'm not opposed to it. I just don't have anywhere to. I feel like I draw from photos all the time. So while I'm there, I really want to get the practice in of just painting what I'm seeing in the person. But since I kind of stand a little bit further back, so I don't really paint the face up close because I can't really see that much detail anyway. So it's like my portrait live drawings, I can show you a couple. With the portrait live drawings, I just kind of paint the whole like scene that I'm seeing. Like here's an example of a couple. Like I'll just kind of paint the whole, like the entire model, like the clothes and everything, and a little bit of the background. Sometimes I do like a up close face, but most of the time there's some nudity, so I won't show those ones. But yeah, like, and I like to practice like the patterns in the clothes and stuff. But yeah, and this is just acrylic gouache as well. But yeah, the painting from life is fun. But yeah, and then photos. Yeah, I usually don't take the photos though. Well, it's in HD. Yeah, I hear you. I think I'm just too slow to sometimes get the whole thing in one session. Plus, if I work off the photo, I can use it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. No, it's not wrong with that. That's what most people in my group do as well. Yeah, it's not wrong with that. In the same, because then you can actually get more details. Like for me, for me, I just whatever I get at the end of the session, that's what I get. So it's pros and cons to both. But like it's not wrong with, yeah, it's absolutely not wrong taking a photo. And I do work pretty fast when it comes to from life. Like the first 20 minutes, I try to get the portrait down. Then I try to do like the yeah. One of the things I've been kind of like, my favorites are like the 20-minute poses, and I paint those. I don't know if I would get I don't know. Yeah, YouTube. Like I don't want to show like any of the like nudity ones, because I don't know how Instagram or YouTube, if I get reported or not. But yeah, like the shorter ones. The shorter ones are fun. Or 20s are probably my favorite duration for like poses. I don't mind the pencil underneath. It gives a nice quality. So what really needs the most attention? The facial features could use some more defining. It's tricky because it's like they're like turned kind of away from us, so it's like a kind of tricky angle. But we'll see. That's way too bright. But yeah, that's with the portrait class. Yeah, that's what I found that I like doing, trying to getting like the full body and stuff, like all the clothes and stuff. That's where I picked up just doing the sketching right in pen, like the base sketch. Cause I found like when I was drawing with pencil, I would keep erasing and stuff. I'll keep erasing and stuff, but when I do drawing pen, I'll just have to, whatever I put down, I just have to go. And since it's timed, I don't have time to fuss around with placement or composition or whatever. So whatever I get that's kind of, it makes this makes me more decisive, especially when it's time stuff. And then that translate. That's the main thing. Do you post replays of the live? So helpful watching the painting come together. Thanks for sharing. Hello from Australia. Nice. It was someone from Australia as well, and New Zealand. And yeah, I post them. I post them on YouTube. I'm streaming on YouTube right now, so YouTube, they get saved automatically. And I post them on Instagram as well, but sometimes Instagram will take it down for the background music playing. It happens like maybe every 1 or 2 streams, if like a specific song out of like the whole 2 hours, if that one song might get flagged, so it will take the whole stream down. But for YouTube, it's not. YouTube, I haven't had any issues. So I will post it, and if it's there, then cool, and if it's not, then you'll be able to find it on my YouTube. I love all the portraits and love the pack. There are no Costco's in Rhode Island, but there's a BJ's near you. It's similar to Costco's. Yeah, I saw that BJ's. There's a BJ's near. It's like a store called Market Basket, which is actually really cool. I started going to Market Basket instead of Stop and Shop. I actually like it a lot. Market Basket is nice. But I haven't been to BJ's though. The thing I like the most about Costco was the Costco brand stuff was actually really good. Like the Costco store brand, the generic stuff. The Kirkland was always really, their version of stuff was always really good. How come Rhode Island doesn't have Costco? I think there's one in Massachusetts, probably like 40 minutes from here, maybe. But I don't have a car, so or anything that far away, I would either have to catch a ride with my brother, so I just kind of go to the local stuff. Every time I work on the facial features, I always quickly go away from it and start doing something else. Part of the reason is because anything that needs like close detail that I would have to get too close to, like my face will like block the camera. So I've been just kind of focusing on like the bigger stuff. Does your brother make art too? He's a chef. He's a chef, but he dabbles. He dabbles in art. He went to Johnson & Wales. Stunning work, thank you. Have you ever been caught in Have you ever been to Caught in Providence? I really like that show. No. What's that? It's like a concert or something. I haven't heard of that. Caught in Providence. There I go again, running from the small details. I gotta do them eventually. That's a great culinary school. Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I heard it's pretty good. And he liked it. Every time I go over to like hang out with him on the weekends, they always make like restaurant quality food. Like if I ate like that, I would definitely be kind of chubby if I could cook like that. I cook, I meal prep and stuff, but my food don't taste like that. Like this stuff is like a restaurant. Yeah, I couldn't eat that good every day. And I eat a lot, so it's easy for me to kind of overeat. I always had a pretty fast metabolism, but getting older, you gotta kind of chill. We had a model recently that was wearing a hat and it had straps on it with sequins and feathers and all that. I was like, oh geez, I totally had to simplify things. The detail can get you caught up. Yeah, for sure. Do you draw or paint? Because one thing I found with actually a lot of details with painting, it's actually faster to do it in painting because all the sequins could just be a quick dot, you know? Like even that one I just showed before, like this dress had like a whole bunch of flower patterns and stuff in it. It was like a bunch of patterns and stuff, but I just kind of, from far it looks kind of like it's texture, but if you like look close, it's really just random squiggles and stuff. But like with painting, that's much faster than if you had to try to shade it with a pencil or something. No, it was a TV show where this heart thing is like blocking this chat. It's kind of annoying. Maybe if I expand this, I'll be able to see. Okay, yeah, I can see. It's a TV show where the judge would handle traffic violators. I think I know. I've seen some posts on like social media of this judge. It might be the same thing as Judge from Providence, and he's like a pretty cool, like laid back judge. He's like an older guy. It might be the same thing. I've seen a couple like clips on social media, but I didn't know it was an actual show. I just thought it was a social media account. It's like shadow under her chin is kind of tricky. I wanted to, can't have it have too hard of an edge. I could definitely see your work being in a fashion magazine. It looks like this painting looks like it could be a fashion illustration for women's perfume and jewelry. You're so, thank you. It's man, I always cooking up greatness. Thank you. And I'm struggling with these facial features a bit. I think I need to. I'm gonna carve them out a little bit more with the background. Why don't you sell prints? I made prints early. I made prints, but I didn't like the quality of them from my printer, at least the printer that I have. But I did get a recommendation for watercolor printer paper that might make the prints look better. But yeah, when I tried to make them, I really didn't like how the printer quality looks. Yeah, sometimes I gotta turn that page so I can get a nice better angle. It's gonna look crazy in the recording. Let's just cut that part out though. If you can see. And with the background, I mean, you can always paint it over, but if you get the carve away, if you get it right, like your first try, that's kind of. Yeah, negative paint. You kind of. I like using the background to carve into the shapes. I do use watercolor or charcoal, but I think with watercolor it's hard to reserve the highlights sometimes. That's probably my issue with the detail. Yeah, watercolor is probably. Oh, with life drawing? Yeah, that's tricky. Yeah, I feel you, man. Cause I use this. What I'm using now, I use acrylic gouache for life drawing, so I'm able to go fast because if I make mistakes, I can just quickly paint over them. You know, watercolor, you kind of get one shot. So I definitely see how you would want to be more careful. But yeah, with gouache and acrylic gouache, more so acrylic gouache, I like it with life drawing because yeah, I can just go, you know, and I'm able to get all those details. I started off with gouache, like my early life drawings, where first it was gouache and I did watercolor for a while, and I tried acrylic gouache, and it's been my current favorite. 10:47, we're getting there. I think this painting. I need to put this piece of parchment paper to protect the next pages because I'm kind of getting some paint on the next pages. So I just put this behind the page I'm working on to kind of protect it. But yeah, negative painting, negative shapes. That's my go-to. That's my go-to. Especially with the short, like 20-minute poses. Coming together. Still needs a bit of work though. In this case, a lot of this is just a lot of areas are just the base layer showing through. Like, all this is just the base layer. Like all the green, and the green's not really even as prominent anymore. But all the light areas are basically mostly just that base layer. So I haven't really covered them up too much. But it kind of blends pretty well, so I might just choose to leave it in most of the areas at least. I love the glow in her skin. Thank you. I rewatch these lives sometimes. And every time I say thank you, I say it 3 times. And I didn't notice I did that until I like rewatched the live. It's like funny seeing yourself. But even in just like the couple weeks that I've been streaming more regularly, I feel like I'm getting better at speaking more spontaneously. Although there's there's the forget what I was saying in the middle of my sentence. But so far, I don't think it's happening yet. It's inevitable though. It's gonna happen. It's your signature, thank you. This is why I can't watch myself on videos. The feeling is strange. Yeah, you know, it's all the little things that you do. Like early on, I noticed how much I say Or kinda. Like my filler word is kinda. I say kinda a lot. I've been getting better with like the uhs. Not saying and too much. I still say it a lot, but not as much as when I first started streaming. But I say kinda a whole bunch. Or yeah, it's good to see it though, because it brings awareness to it. But it is a strange feeling though. I don't know how people that do like the talking head YouTube videos, I don't know how they do it. Like with this, for me, like I'm not just staring at this camera and talking. Like I'm multitasking, you know, so that makes it more comfortable for me. But if I was just sitting there talking to the camera, I would like, I don't know if I'd be able to do that. It's like doing this, it doesn't really feel like, cause I hate public speaking. It's not, I don't like public speaking at all. But this doesn't really. It's always nervous when I first turn the stream on, but once I'm actually going, then it's fine. But it doesn't feel like public speaking because it's like, well, one, I don't see people's faces. I'm just like reading the chat. I look up from the chat. And two, since I'm actually doing something else, I'm not focusing on like exactly what I'm saying or whatnot. I don't know. I find it way easier to do what I'm doing now than try to give like a speech or like a presentation where it's like just a monologue. Whenever it's like in grad school, when we had to do seminars and stuff and do presentations, I always hated just sitting there talking to a room by myself for like 20 minutes. It's always like, it was always more natural. It's when it comes to like the question part where somebody asks a question, it's like more of a dialogue, more it's cause just trying to monologue for so long without any kind of feedback or input, it's just like I never liked it that much. But this actually feels a lot different than that. Cut yourself some slack. You're doing a million things at a time. I'm amazed at the multitasking ability. Thank you. Yeah, I feel like definitely getting better in this. Yes. Yeah, it's a lot of. It actually is a lot. Like computer. In terms of like a computer, is like you'll be using like a lot of RAM, painting and reading comments, reading two chats. Cause I got the YouTube chat and the Instagram chat. She's looking good, man. Thank you. Not that art's about money, but how do you monetize your art if you sell it? Please mention me. Shy Yank 42. That's your username. I don't know what to say about you, but there you go. Not that art's about making money, but how do you monetize your art? I mostly monetize through people commission me for like personal commissions, and then also I get like random client work, whether it be like making an online class or doing like a book cover or doing like an album cover, or it's kind of all over the place, to be honest. What else have I done? Yeah, it's just random projects. I mean, you're right about the monetization, because that stuff is very volatile. It goes up and down, so something like selling artwork that I have just sitting around could be a nice source of income that I don't have to rely for a client to come up. But yeah, I've always been not great at the business aspect of this thing. I guess I've just been kind of lucky that people like my stuff enough to reach out to me. So Talented, thank you. And I only said one thank you. I'm gonna try to catch myself from doing the 3 thank yous. Well, I don't know how you can paint and talk like you do. Yeah, this streaming has definitely helped with that for sure. Like painting and talking is a little bit easier to do than drawing and talking. Although I was able to draw and talk earlier today, so I guess I'm kind of improving at that as well. But yeah, it's definitely good practice. But I'm telling you, when I was really bad at public speaking in grad school. Like there's this thing called Toastmasters. I don't know if you guys heard of it, but it's like a club where you practice public speaking. And I started going to that. My advisor recommended it to me because my first exam, which was the qualifying exam, or no, the preliminary exam, where you just have to kind of present your research to your committee, which is 3 different faculty staff members. I was like so nervous with that. I was tripping all over my words and stuff. And it was just bad. But yeah, I went to kind of did the Toastmasters thing. But even still to this day, it's hard for me to just keep going and talking without like input. Like with the chat, people say something and then that kind of gets me on a path where I can think of more stuff to say. But if it wasn't like a chat and I was just here, like that's why I've been struggling with trying to make regular YouTube videos. Cause I'm like, I just don't know what to talk about. So yeah, but having a chat and stuff, that having more of a dialogue than just me going on and on. Even though technically I am kind of just going on and on, but it doesn't really feel like it since it's a chat. Oh yes, I hate giving talks too. Yeah, they're the worst. Much respect to you, brother, fellow artist. Thank you. Hey bro, how's it going? Nice skin tones, thank you. I did Toastmasters too, it really helped. Yeah, it did help. It helped a lot. The impromptu speeches were pretty cool. Yes, I worked in real estate and my boss wanted me to go to Toastmasters. She highly recommended it. Yeah, it was yeah, I would say if you struggle, it's definitely, if you struggle with public speaking, I would recommend it as well. Like, so the way it works, if you haven't gone, the way it works is like, there's weekly meetings, and you have it's like a program that I think it's changed since I've done it. Like, right when I was finishing up grad school, the Toastmasters like curriculum kind of changed a bit. But when I was doing it, it was like the way it worked was it was a set of 10 speeches that you give, and each was like a different. You have like a prompt to kind of make a speech about. So like the first one was just like a general speech about yourself, you know. Then another one was like a time where give a speech about the time where something happened. I can't remember the exact prompts, but it was like a different theme. And then each meeting, like 2 or 3 people would give their speech, and then you would also, it was like a section where you would do like impromptu speaking, where like it was like off the cuff topics that people would have to give like a 1 to 2 minute quick like impromptu speech about whatever the question or prompt was. it's just kind of exercises like that where you just kind of get used to being up in front of the crowd, just practicing talking and stuff like that. So yeah, if you struggle with public speaking, I would definitely recommend seeing if you, because it's a nationwide. I don't know if it's international, but it's at least it's like a nationwide thing. It might be a local chapter in your city, wherever you're from. Most major cities have. They're usually like near colleges and stuff like that. Toastmasters clubs. So I looked to see if there was one in Providence, but I didn't see one listed. But yeah, public speaking sucks. I don't know if it's still true, but at one point it was like some people fear public speaking more than dying. It was like a higher fear than dying to public speaking. I think it's international. It's in Canada. I don't struggle with public speaking. I just don't like it. Yeah, me neither, for sure. I feel like it's a select few people that just like love it, like just actually like really like it. Like that's what they. Cause me, I don't. In general, I don't really like being the center of attention, especially like in person. I like to kind of just be in the background, just kind of chilling, doing my own thing. I don't really like to. I don't like being the center of attention. I recommend meditation to help with public speaking. I've tried meditate. I don't know. I haven't figured out. I don't know what this. Maybe I haven't done it long enough, but I haven't really. When I try to meditate, either I end up falling asleep, because if I sit still for any period of time without doing anything, I'm just gonna instantly fall asleep at some point. That's one of my talents. I used soft pastels this week, and they seem pretty good for the live portraits. Anyway, I have to run. Thank you for the live stream. Love seeing your work and enjoy chatting. Thank you. Thanks for hanging out. And yeah, I'll catch you next time. And yeah, I hope your live portrait, hope your pastels came out nice. A lot of artists in my group use them as well, and they always look really cool. So I'm sure you made something cool too. Some artists survey their followers to see what questions they have and then address their questions in their YouTube while they paint. Yeah, that was, at least on YouTube, that was my most popular video on YouTube, was just like a Q&A. That was like 2 or 3 years now, so maybe I could do something like that. That was cool too, because I didn't have to come up with like a script or anything. I just answered the question. It just takes practice. You eventually tap into awareness needed to keep yourself awake. And what do you like? Do you have like a mantra or anything, or are you like just trying not to think about anything, or you're just sitting there? Yeah, I got frustrated and kind of probably gave up too early. I don't know. I feel like I struggle at painting, but I literally just started using acrylic paint. Yeah, it's tricky. Acrylic, it's tricky. Painting in general is tricky, but honestly, just the more you do it, the more mileage you get, the more you'll kind of be able to process it a little bit more. I guess that's probably it applies to everything, including like meditation. When I'm well prepared, it's fun. I guess that's referring to public speaking. Yeah, I would agree. Because the one speech that actually went pretty well for me was my third year. In the third year, you have to give like a big speech in front of like the whole department, and that actually turned out pretty well because I like actually prepared like a lot for it. I still was nervous, but it went much better than my typical speeches. I just when I'm trying to prepare for the speech, I'm thinking it's hard to focus for me, and I start thinking of every single possible scenario, and I start panicking. But for that one, yeah, if I had this live stream set up back then, I probably would have just recorded myself doing it, and that might have helped. I'm with you. Public speaking is my number one no. I feel like that's true. It depends what you're meditating about. Yeah, I should meditate about what direction to take in life. I feel like I'm kind of just drifting. I gotta go. Thank you for the live stream. It was real fun and the portrait turned out beautiful. Thank you. Thanks for hanging out. I'll catch you next time. Have a good night. It's coming. Somehow it feels like it's coming together, but it's still like a lot that needs to be done. I don't know. Maybe I just need to look at it with fresh eyes. This cheek could be cutting a little bit more. Oh my gosh, where have you been? I haven't seen your videos in so long. Yeah, I fell off the mat. I abandoned my YouTube channel. But I'm trying to make a comeback. But it's been so long that my account got demonetized. I've literally spent a year trying to figure out where I'm going, still figuring it out. Yeah. Ever since graduating from grad school, it just kind of felt like a constant feeling of not knowing what to do next, where to go or whatnot. Because towards the end, I realized I didn't really want to do chemistry anymore, at least not working in a research lab anymore. I'm sure there's other stuff to do, but then from there, yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'll keep telling myself I'll figure it out at some point. But I think just telling yourself that it might not be enough. I did get out to put up some shots today though. Jumper still, yeah, me too. Not today. I went to the court. Was it Saturday or Sunday? Yeah, it was Sunday because it rained on Saturday. Yeah, I went to the basketball court, got some shots up, and the jumper's still there. I was worried because this was the longest time I went without shooting. But the mid-range, as usual, was pretty much automatic. I made the threes. It took a while to kind of find the range again with the three-pointer shot, but the mid-range, that's like, I can hit that in my sleep. So it felt good. It felt good. But my legs are still sore. It's crazy. I didn't even play a game or anything. That's how you know you get. It's bad. And it's like basketball, you use different muscles from just jogging. My shoulders and hands aren't too bad because I do like my push-ups and pull-ups, so my shoulders don't feel too bad. But it was more so the legs. I don't do too much. I gotta do more lower body exercises. But the crazy thing, when I was doing my last fall, I joined, like, me and my brother. We joined like a dodgeball team. That was the first time we played dodge. That's the first time I played dodgeball since like high school. Like after the first week, my arm was like dead just from throwing like the little dodgeball. And they were like the foam dodgeballs. Like you really have to kind of throw it hard to make it go fast, because otherwise it's easy to dodge. But yeah, doing that made my arm kind of sore. But there are some apps that allow you to consolidate chats while streaming, so you don't have to have them on separate monitors. Yeah, I wonder if I can. So I'm on Streamlabs and it has this multi-stream feature, but let's see. It's not showing anything. Maybe I probably have to set it up ahead of time. And I don't know if it will show the Instagram chat, because I know if it's like Twitch and YouTube, that's probably like super. It's probably easy to do. But to have the Instagram chat up and the YouTube, because the Streamlabs is letting me stream to both at the same time. I'm not seeing. There's like a multi-stream tab, and when I click it, it's just blank. But the YouTube is showing up on this screen, while the Instagram is on this screen. But yeah, I'll look it up. I'm gonna look it up, see if there's some way to consolidate it. I love dodgeball. Have you ever trampoline dodgeball? No, that sounds extreme. I haven't tried trampoline dodgeball. That sounds fun though. That sounds fun. I gotta sign up for another dodgeball season, because that was really fun. And I think now it's gonna be outdoors, because I did it in the fall last year, so it was at the local YMCA. But our team was bad. Like we were always like kind of losing our matches all the way up until, because we were on like the free agent team, and there were like some teams there that kind of were I don't know, I guess they do it like every season, but since it was our first time, they put us on like the free agent team. So we were losing pretty much most of our games the whole season. But when it came to the playoffs, we actually everything kind of started to click finally, and we made it to the finals. We made it to the final championship game. And I was the last one out. We ended up I was the last one. The whole team was out, and it was just me. And they had like 4 guys left, and all 4 of them, like, they had all the balls on their side, and I was like dodging. And like when I came back in, it was one guy that was hiding in the corner that I didn't see that had a ball, and he just kind of hit me when I was going to like retaliate, and then we ended up running as the runners up. But it was funny, like we find everything kind of clicked together in the last week. But yeah, I haven't played since the fall. But that was actually super fun. You feel like a superhero in there. I'll be destroying my kids. Yes, this was a adult dodgeball league. So everybody was kind of like grown ups. But yeah, it would be funny just like, oh yeah, you're talking about this trampoline dodgeball. Yeah. Was it at one of those like trampoline parks? Cause I've been to one of those, but they didn't have dodgeball there. They had like the basketball court or just like the. I want to join a league, but I don't have the time. Yeah. I finally finished the Vince Carter digital piece. Should probably post it. I'm missing sports right now. Nice. Have you been watching the playoffs? I haven't been watching, but I just kind of watched the highlights on YouTube. Thank you. The portrait is beautiful as usual. Good night. Have a good night. Have a good night. See you later. And thank you. And yeah, you should post it. You should post it. Yeah, there's one here called Altitude. Yeah, I think that's the one. They must be a chain because I think the trampoline park I went to was called Altitude as well. Maybe it's a chain. Man, the Celtics are in the finals. You in their backyard. Yeah. If they win, that'll be crazy. I'm not really loyal to any team, honestly, but yeah, that'll be cool if they win. That'll be their first win since 2008, I think, back with Paul Pierce and Ray Allen and Garnett. Go Celtics. Maybe they get it done because it's like their third time to the finals, right? They've been there against. I think they lost to the Warriors that one year. And I think they were there another time, right? With I forgot who they played, or maybe they did. I think they'll get it done. Is Porzingis healthy? At least they were able to get the sweep, so they have more time to rest, which is good. Trying to get back. Glad you didn't forget to work on the ear this time. Yeah, I just realized once again I realized I kind of forgot about it up until this point. I actually want to make it a little bit bigger than I had it in the drawing. I can carve out. But I went to a Celtic game. Was that last year? Maybe 2 years ago? My brother got free tickets from his company, so we went up there. It was pretty cool. That was the first time I've been to the Garden. They played Orlando. They ended up losing though to Paolo Banchero. But it was cool. New follower, first time joining live. Is that oil or acrylic? Your work is beautiful. Thank you. This is acrylic gouache. Acrylic gouache. So it's like a, you can think of it as like a matte acrylic. Acrylic that dries down to like a flat, opaque, matte finish, rather than like the typical kind of shiny, plasticky acrylic looking finish. Wow, the only time we go to games is Orlando from Boston from here. Oh yeah, because you said you were in Florida. Nice. I'm surprised they lost that game because I don't think Orlando, at least that year, I don't think Orlando was. I think this was last year, and I don't think Orlando was that good last year. Boston was definitely the better team. They kind of like, kind of sold towards the end of the game, but I'm sure they probably didn't have that problem this year. I love your art. Thank you. Orlando's been building for a few years. They're getting there. That's crazy. I really haven't been following the NBA. At least watching the games for like the past couple of years. I just watched it highlight every now and then. Again, just watch the highlights on YouTube. I love your art. Thank you. The brush strokes look different. You're using a different brush. Yeah, right now I'm using this. I'm using this round brush for like the smaller details, just to be able to try to get some of these smaller like lip details and stuff that is a little bit hard to get with like a big flat brush. I use the flat brush for as much as I can, and then at some point I gotta switch over. Just for like the smaller details. This lip shape is really tricky to get right. I'm digging the contrast. Thank you. I felt the urge to say thank you 2 more times. now that I'm like aware of it, I find myself almost consciously like it's funny. Triple thank you. Just let it ride. I'm like, thank you. It was like right on the tip of my tongue. I could feel myself about to say it. I think like a subtle line here would kind of make this cheek stand out from the nose, because right now it just looks kind of like one shape. I don't know. How long have you been painting, and do you typically use a reference picture? Yeah, I'm using this reference here. For these photo studies, I do references, but I also try to do, for like original drawings, either I do like use references for inspiration, but like not as like a direct study. Like that big painting back there, where that started out just from imagination, and then once I got to a certain point, when I went to kind of finalize the details and try to tweak the details, and I looked up references for specific lighting, but overall it was more of a piece from imagination. But all these references help me build up my visual library. How long have I been painting? For this specific portrait, it's going on. In general, I've been drawing my whole life, but started painting in 2017. Basically around the same time I started this Instagram account. And then this painting has been about to be 3 hours, including the drawing. The drawing was about a half hour, so it's been about 2.5 hours. I envy your gray colored velvet touch brushes. They look so stiff, so nice for gouache. I like the velvet touch. Actually, I should have had these soak in the water. But yeah, they're nice. They're not super stiff, but they're stiff enough that they hold a point, but not too stiff where it it's like the right amount of stiffness for gouache, I'd say. Because it keeps the point, but it still holds a decent amount of water, which is nice. What is the drying time of acrylic gouache? How do you keep your palette and brushes wet? I keep the palette wet by using this water bottle, and I'll just spray my water bottle, and then I keep the brushes wet. I have this bucket of water, and it has like one side where you can keep your brushes in, and the other side is for there's like a little texture on the bottom that you can use to clean your brushes with. So important, definitely important, because once it dries, it doesn't reactivate. What's the difference between acrylics and acrylic gouache? The main difference is acrylic gouache. When acrylic gouache dries, it has like a matte texture to it. It dries like really flat and really matte. Whereas regular acrylic, so this is regular acrylic. You see how it's kind of like, it has a little bit of a sheen to it, and then you can kind of see the texture a little bit more. Regular, I don't know if you can, but acrylic gouache it's opaque, and it dries to like a flat matte finish. You can think of acrylic gouache as basically just matte acrylic. So if you were to take acrylic and use like a matte medium, it will pretty much look like acrylic gouache. And they both behave the same after they dry, where it doesn't I told you once every stream I completely forget about what I'm talking about. At least I made it 3 hours before that happened. What am I talking about again? Difference between acrylic gouache and acrylics. I think I finished answering that question, but I don't know. Let me know if I answered it. I don't remember if I did. I envy how it seems like you go into it with the direction. I feel so lost when I start, and it's been a bunch of time discovering what it's going to be. When it comes to just art in general, or like these photo studies. Put a random mark, yo. Yeah, I'll put a random freckle. It's just a freckle though. So she has a freckle right there. And another one right there. So there's your random marks. Art in general. Yeah, so what once I have the drawing down, and just one of the things about the that base layer, putting like just a random color or something, it gives me a starting point. So once I have it down, it's like a switch goes off in my mind where I'm like, it's kind of like, it's like ready to paint time almost. And then by having like a weird green, you know, or like a blue or something, I don't know. It's part of it is like a mental game, and then part of it is I don't know. When I'm doing these lives, that helps me to keep going as well. Because if I was just painting by myself, once I kind of get to a point where I feel like I'm struggling, then I might pick up my phone and start getting distracted or something. But with the live, it kind of keeps me on task a little bit better. What do you think of Liquitex acrylic gouache? I haven't tried it. The only acrylic gouache I've tried was this Turner acrylic gouache, and then I have one tube of. I've only tried 1 or 2 colors of this Holbein acrylic gouache. I had the purple and the burnt sienna, and I don't know why I picked those 2 colors. But yeah, this Turner, but this ran out like a while ago. I don't know, I still have this tube. I should just toss it. But I guess it's good I had it for this one time to show. But yeah, I should try. I didn't know Liquitex made acrylic gouache. I didn't know that. How much time do you spend on sketchbook practice and actual painting? My default is to go to sketchbooks painting. I gotta try to do more. Get on a schedule where I more regularly do like original artwork. Basically, once I get to a point where I'm bored of like just doing photo studies, then I kind of try to paint something like original or some kind of fan art or something. In terms of like posting regularly on Instagram, and by regularly like once or twice a week, it's easy to just do a quick photo study because that's like a couple, maybe 2 or 3 hours, and then I have a painting. But with like original artwork or fan art or something where I'm not looking at a direct reference, it takes a lot longer because the thought process and coming up with a pose and lighting scenario and all that. It takes quite a bit longer, but I do want to make it a habit to be have a higher ratio of that to just photo studies. Even though I do learn a lot from doing these. Don't be harsh on yourself. It's impossible to focus on painting and answering questions. How are you setting up your streaming? So I'm streaming with 3 different webcams. This main one here, which is a Logitech Brio. This palette cam, which is a Logitech C9 220, and then a random Amazon cheap webcam. And then they're all plugged into my computer, my desktop. And the scene is assembled through a program called Streamlabs. So Streamlabs lets me put up like the different elements, the little banner that's scrolling across, and all the little graphics and stuff. But yeah, the basic answer is it's just a desktop app called Streamlabs, and then multiple webcams. Why acrylic gouache? Why not traditional gouache? Basically, what's the advantage of traditional gouache? For me, I like acrylic gouache. I like regular gouache. But I like it more on this tan paper. So like if I do regular gouache, I like to paint on like this I don't know, you can't really tell the difference. But yeah, I like regular gouache on tan paper, and I like acrylic gouache on white paper. And the reason is because the white acrylic gouache shows up much better on white paper. Like regular gouache, you really have to build up the layers before it starts looking good on white paper. But with acrylic gouache, it's I don't know, I just like how it behaves a little better on white paper. But if I was painting in that tan notebook, then I would much prefer regular gouache. So I like both evenly, but it just depends on the kind of paper. Is this one done? I'm sure I could keep. Oh, she has a necklace. I didn't even notice. I'm gonna put the necklace in, and I'll probably put the necklace in, maybe a couple more details, and then look at it tomorrow with fresh eyes and see whatever tweaks I could make. And I might do another drawing just to have the drawing set up for the next stream, and then call it a night. So let's see. For the necklace, I like putting the shadow of the necklace down first, and then putting the necklace on top. So it kind of comes like this. Do you struggle to blend on paper with regular gouache? Not really. At least not once you build it up to a certain point, then it's easier to blend. It's just with acrylic gouache on white paper, that point is much sooner than with regular gouache. Regular gouache, you gotta build it up to be a little bit more thicker in order for it to look nice. At least the way I like it. Whereas on tan paper, since you're already starting from a mid-range, then any white that you put on top of it quickly stands out. But I just found that white acrylic gouache is more opaque than white regular gouache. Do you like to blend this portrait? The blending, any of the blending for this acrylic gouache was done just by, it has to be done while the paint is still wet. So I do some blending, but most of it is just layering. most of it I just kind of layer to get. So that's why it's kind of, it's not really, it's a lot of hard edges and stuff. But that's kind of the determining factor. That left collarbone is missing some definition. Just saying. Oh yeah, it sure is. Yeah, that's one of the things that drew me to this reference. Anyway, I like the collarbone. Make sure I definitely want to keep those. It kind of comes in a little bit more. Do I blend this part, Jerry? Good art makes me never want to draw again. It should do the opposite. It should do the opposite. At least it does for me. It makes me want to like get better, so I can hopefully achieve similar results. Yeah, it's like a nice space too. You can really see like the pit of the neck. Really, really well defined. Her left? Oh yes, yeah, this would be her left. Yeah. That's one of the, when I'm drawing like doing figure drawings and stuff like this, the collarbones and the pit of the neck is like one of the landmarks I look for. Cause I don't start from the head, I would start from like the torso and then do like the pit of the neck, and that kind of gives me my measurement to measure the neck and then measure up to the chin and then build the face up from there. Bonjour. You know, I was in elementary school, I did like French club, but I did it for like a week. And I was like, I quit. Beautiful so far, thank you. Thanks a lot. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I hope that kind of answered the question a little bit as to. Yeah, but next time I'm working on that tan notebook, most likely it will be with just regular gouache. Cause I really like how regular gouache looks in it. This is just regular gouache. And I mean, honestly, it kind of looks this, like my style doesn't really, between regular, like these were both regular gouache. It still kind of pretty much has the same look. It's just, it's easier to blend regular gouache. I really enjoy gouache, more graphic quality and trying to achieve a blending look. Maybe because I can't blend it. Yeah, most people that use gouache kind of go for like this graphic look, because that's really what it lends itself to be honest. But you actually can blend it. The way you can't blend this acrylic gouache, but the way you will blend regular gouache is once you have the colors down, let it dry all the way, and then come back in with a brush. I usually like to use like a really soft like round brush. Just clean water and just go over the area you want to blend with the clean water, but don't scrub at all. Like don't scrub a lot. Just put the water down, let it sit, and it will soften all the edges. And while it's still kind of moist, you can drop in the other colors to get like soft transitions. And I did it for this. So like I was experimenting with that for like my earlier portraits. I actually made a YouTube video of this painting that I'm about to show. If I can find it. Where basically I tried to work on blending out like all of those hard edges. Yeah, here we go. Like this one. I have a YouTube video of this painting. Like you see how like this one doesn't have any of like those. It doesn't have. It's much more blended. And this is just regular gouache. Basically, I had it. It was like patchy like this, but I just went over with a brush of water, a brush filled with clean water, and that softened up all the edges, and that's how you can get kind of softer edges. But yeah, I don't do too much of that anymore because I actually kind of like that. I like the graphic look, like you said as well. But I do it sometimes too. Thanks. I'll try it sometime. Yeah, it works. It works. It's yeah, give it a try. You're such a wonderful artist. Love the vibe. Have a good evening. Looking forward to your next live. Thank you. Have a good night. Have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. And yeah, I'll catch you next time. That red look more saturated, especially the yellows. What am I doing right now? Oh yeah, this I hit the camera. What am I doing? Oh, I was working on the necklace and the collarbone. Yeah. My paint is starting to dry, so I might start over. Just clean out an area. Because the only thing with this acrylic gouache, when it starts drying up, it starts to get kind of like chunky. Like it starts to kind of clump together a little bit. And just make a clean space to mix my colors. Yeah, you can see it kind of crusty. I don't know if you can see it, like the black, like this dark area over here. It's like all crusty when I'm scraping it up. So that part was like super dry. But the glass palette makes it super easy to clean up because you don't have to worry about scrubbing or anything like that if it was a normal palette. So if you're gonna use acrylic gouache, I definitely recommend trying to get a glass palette and then some kind of like, this is a compound knife, like a joint compound knife that you can just use as a scraper. That regular gouache. Oh, so the yellows on the regular gouache look more saturated. Yeah. Now those pictures, I let yeah, maybe. This one, I with this acrylic gouache, I definitely mix a lot more white than I do when I use regular gouache because I let the white of the paper do a lot of the heavy lifting. Or sorry, the tan of the paper. I let that shine through a lot more. Put some more white. Amazing, thank you. I've been following you for years, man. I can't begin to tell you how talented you are. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I appreciate that. People are so nice on Instagram Live and YouTube Live. The portraits in your profile are so good. Thank you. Thank you. That was only 2, thank you. Had to catch the 3rd. Earlier I was saying how when I was watching back over like these lives, I noticed like every time I say thank you, I always say like 3 thank yous for some reason. And I've been trying to be aware of it. I struggle to not have profiles look flat. I need to study more sorrow heads. I like the sorrow head profile. If you can't either get the statue or like there's a 3D model of it from Sketchfab. I like the simplified statue because this is easier to remember than like the complex side with all the extra planes and stuff. But yeah, I like the smaller one. I just got this smaller female sorrow head from 3D Total. But yeah, the planes in the face, they make good like lighting references as well. Gotta go. Maybe I'll do some work. Great work, man. Ice those knees. Yeah. Have a good night, man. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, I need to ice those knees. Yeah, they're all aching a little bit. I'm getting old, man. I used to be able to just play all day. Not have to worry about it, but yeah, thanks for hanging out. Have a good night. Your portraits and profile. Yeah, portraits and profile are usually they're definitely a favorite because it's like don't have to draw. Basically, just you're drawing half a face, kind of. I flip my paper towel around because the side that I'm using, I don't know if you can see it, but I have this paper towel that I'm using to constantly like control the amount of water in my brush. This was the side I was using, but it got so dirty that every time I was trying to dab it for colors, it would pick up some of the color on the paper towel. I want to be a tattoo artist. I'm almost done my portfolio, but you're a huge inspiration for me. Thank you. Yeah. Nice. What is there a specific focus you like with tattoos? Like tattoo art? Like what's your favorite subject matter for tattoos, or you like kind of doing everything? Am I standing? Yeah, I'm standing. I'm working at a stand-up desk. Yeah, I like to stand when I work. If I get too tired, then I have like the stool that I can lower the desk and sit at. But is that why you use the square brush? Because the strokes look like they're playing in the face? Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, I mean, I do try to think of not specifically for that sorrow planes in the face, but I do like to think about the reference in terms of like blocks of color. Like I am thinking about it in terms of like patches and blocks of color. So that is kind of why I do like the square brushes. I'd rather just put down one stroke, one paint stroke, and then carve away at it rather than kind of like constantly dabble with it and keep tweaking it. It just makes it look more confident, I think, at least in my opinion. Are you staying? Oh yeah, right that. I wish the Instagram chat it doesn't scroll automatically, and I wish it wouldn't say like it says. I love neo-traditional and realism, but I'm trying to build my strengths elsewhere, so I'm flexible. Nice. My art account is tattoo artist wannabe. If you ever want to check it out, yeah. Let me see if I can click this because it doesn't let me click. I'll write it down. I'm not gonna. If you DM me or I'm bad at remembering usernames. Let's see. I can write it down. Tattoo artist. Tartist wannabe. Oh yeah, I was reading your comment. My art. I love neo-traditional and realism, but I'm trying to build my strengths elsewhere, so I'm flexible. Nice. So one way you can get around like the blending issue of not being able to blend with acrylic gouache is if you give it like some use like dry strokes where it's kind of like the same effect as cross hatching, where it's like some gaps between like the brush strokes, like between the bristles, and that those gaps kind of help to like visually blend rather than actually blending the paint, if that makes sense. It's like if you're cross hatching with the pen and some hatches are closer together and whatnot, that can help give you like the illusion of a more blended look. So it's like blending by layering rather than actually going in and blending the paint. What software do you use to do these lives while showing your face? This is streaming on desktop using Streamlabs, OBS. Well, it's just called Streamlabs now, but it's a streaming software on desktop. You can stream to Instagram from your desktop now. So whatever if you've streamed to like Twitch or YouTube before, which I'm streaming to YouTube actually at the same time, but the same software you stream to YouTube and Twitch, you can stream to Instagram now. I'm better at pencil sketches, painting, and especially digital. I'm better at pencil sketches, painting, and especially digital art is hard for me. Yeah, digital art was tricky for me for the longest. I might, one of these streams, I might do a Procreate stream because it's been a while. It's been a couple weeks since I painted in Procreate. I might do a Procreate stream. Thanks. No problem. What was I talking about just now? Yeah, I feel like I'm just kind of noodling a little bit. Oh yeah, I was working on a necklace. I forgot. That's what I was doing. But that green layer is showing through a lot, and I actually like how it looks. So I'm not gonna paint over it. But like the shoulder, that's almost all base layer. Like a lot of the chest area and this shoulder and the neck, a lot of that is just that initial green base layer. But you see, it doesn't even really look all that green now that the colors are on top of it, because it was actually quite dilute when I used it. Yeah, let's do this necklace, and then if it's enough time, because I think the Instagram stream cuts off, the limit is 4 hours. I feel like that's a good enough time for me to stop streaming. Plus, it's midnight here. I need to go to sleep. As I said, I'm gonna work on a necklace. I go straight to not the necklace. I don't feel like doing all those details, so I'm just gonna put some random yellow highlights. The underpainting gives some JC Leyendecker vibes. Nice. That's a huge compliment. I think I might be. I think I might be done for now. I can't. I'll have to see what it looks like with fresh eyes. But this is a good spot to call it. Oh yeah, the earring. I forgot about the earring. I always forget about the earring. Put some random splatter marks, and I'll do a lighter color so it doesn't look like too much like freckles, just to give some variation to the portrait. Oh, the hairline could use some work, some like flyaways and stuff like that. Can really help to tie the hairline together. And I don't know if these little dots are gonna show up on camera, but alright. I have this brush that I like to use for hair. Yeah, this one. It's called a dagger striper brush. And it looks like this. It's like a small version of one of these one of these kind of brushes. one of these. It's just a tiny version of it, but it gets like nice sharp brush strokes that taper, so it's nice for hair. Thanks for the stream, Jay. It was good to have you paint. Well, I did hopefully catch you soon. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. I'll be back on probably Friday. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, have a good night. Yeah, I need to get some sleep myself. I'm gonna finish this hairline and then wrap it up. It's beautiful, thank you. WSG? What does that mean? I don't know what that acronym stands for. I'm on bounce. I'm glad to have the pleasure of catching one of your lives. I hope you have a good night. Thank you, you too. I hope you have a good night as well and a good rest of the week. And hope to catch you again. Thanks for hanging out. All right. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much the gist of it. I need to be heading out myself. Get some rest, get some sleep. But yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for hanging out with me. Yeah, I think I'll schedule another one for probably Friday. Do another stream on Friday. This is what we got so far. I probably will come back tomorrow and probably do some tweaks. See it with fresh eyes. Probably do some tweaks off stream, but yeah, that was fun. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, I hope everybody has a good night. And yeah, I think I'm gonna end it off here and catch you guys later. So yeah, see you. Have a good night.